How's it going, TCTC? Welcome to the first installment of TCTC Podcasts. Today we're here with Houdinis Code, a local Cleveland rock band. First up, I'm going to introduce you to Kevin Cedar.
How's it going, guys? Yeah, thanks for having us on this podcast. We're honored to be the first episode ever. Hopefully your most memorable episode as well.
I would hope so.
I hope so. Now
we move on to Shawn.
Hey, how's it going?
Nice to meet you, Shawn. How are you doing
Nice to meet
today?
you too. No, thanks for having us.
No problem at all, man. We're going to move straight on to the band, Houdinis Code, with Kevin Cedar, Shawn Davis, and Ryan Michael Paul.
Yeah, make sure you get the middle name for Ryan.
The middle name's got to be there, man. It's an artist's choice, if you will.
Yes.
The first thing I wanted to start off with is, how did it start? I mean, that's always going to be like the first band question you're going to get.
Yeah.
So that is the overall question. How did it start?
You want to take this?
Well, yeah, it was probably about 6 weeks ago that we... No, it wasn't 6 weeks ago. We wrote our first song in, well, technically high school. But the first song that we wrote for this record was 2014.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
2014.
Well, like, I feel like we were, like, figuring out how to be a band. Like, Shawn and I originally were trying to record every instrument ourselves. So, like, we'd use his electric drum set. Mm-hmm. We would have, like, a bass guitar we got from, like, Goodwill or something that we would be... You had to wear gloves to record the bass.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, that was not a good bass
And then
guitar.
we didn't even use those versions at all.
Nope.
But there's certain songs that, like, we changed, like, a million times. But
Mm-hmm.
then we found Ryan about a year and a half ago, and that's when we, like, really committed. And after Taylor Hawkins, Foo Fighters drummer, passed away, we kind of got inspired. Where we're like, let's finish this album. Okay. It's been so long, you know. So
that's amazing, actually.
Yeah.
I like that was in your inspiration was the passing away of Taylor Hawkins.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of artists have passed away, like, in the last years.
So I don't want to speak for you, but
inspiration.
We saw Foo Fighters in, like, 2007, and I feel like
2012.
I didn't play 2012.
2012.
I didn't play an instrument at the time, and then I saw them, and I'm like, I'm gonna learn how to play drums.
We were in Duran's class.
Yeah, we were.
And you're like, you know what? I'm gonna get my mom to buy us tickets for my birthday. And that
makes me
our
sound
first
so good.
concert together.
Dude, my dad, remember, he went to the... We only had 2 tickets, so he drove us, and he went to the game. And waited for us.
That's amazing.
Yeah. We got a flat tire.
Yeah,
on
and
the
your
way
dad
there, too.
fixed the flat tire. Yeah, there's a lot of parent help there.
A lot of backstory to that.
Yeah.
Just particular set of how did you guys start? My next question, basing off that, I mean, you guys already talked about, like, being in high school together, but you mentioned the other member wasn't originally there either. Yeah. So I want to know, how did you all meet?
Ryan, that's you.
We met Ryan. Me and him worked at the same grocery store. Because my career has really taken off.
Shout out Houdinis.
Yeah, that's great.
It's really taken off.
But no, I met him there, and he I don't remember this, but he always tells me the first interaction he had with me is just I asked him if he liked grilled cheese sandwiches, and then he just started lingering around.
That doesn't seem like you at all.
No.
I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't imagine you asking something so out of the ordinary to someone randomly.
Yeah,
so.
it definitely doesn't sound like me. But then he told me he plays drums, and I'm like, okay, why don't you just come over to my house? And then, as any stalker would. But I invited him over, we jammed, and we clicked, and then I called Kevin, like, immediately and said, hey, we got a drummer. Let's kind of kick this thing back into gear.
Yeah, and I remember our first jam session, you could, like, feel the chemistry. We're like, oh, like, this guy's going to work. Like, Ryan's so gifted as a keyboardist and drummer, so he plays keyboards.
Keyboard and
on this, he's put a lot of instruments.
I've actually never seen a combo of a
record.
drummer also being a keyboardist.
Yeah, I think
that's crazy.
He's super talented musician. So,
all right. The last question on the how did you guys start thing is when and how was the coming together, which you guys kind of covered, but I want to know more about the high school. Like, what was going on there? When did you two actually finally meet? What grade was that? Like,
we met
5th grade.
Well, technically, we met in 4th grade. We met in 4th grade because our older brothers weren't getting along.
Yeah.
And, his mom was my principal, and our moms had a meeting because our 2 brothers didn't get along. Imagine that.
Yeah.
And then we didn't say a word to each other.
Yeah, I didn't like you at first.
Yeah, thanks. I knew that he was something special, but he didn't say. Yeah, he didn't say anything.
No, I didn't. I just didn't
special.
want to talk to you. I just because it was like a Saturday where they were in.
No, it was a school night.
Oh, I just wanted to go home.
Yeah. But no, you guys were playing like mini golf on a computer game.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyways, we and then
Let's get to the important
yeah.
details.
But yeah, we basically grew like grade school together. I remember like 5th grade on and then like we were in a high school band actually. Green Tea, remember them?
Oh yeah, that was great.
And then we were in Pass the Napkins.
Yep.
So a lot of cool band names.
Yeah.
Actually,
But-
you know, Houdinis Code is not a far fall from those.
Yeah.
Pass the napkin.
Yeah. Honestly, there's really not a good band name. Like, if you think about any band on Earth, you just got to say it in like a deep voice, and you make if the band like imagine if we were a local band who sucked and we were called Metallica. Like, you would be like, that band like sucks.
Well, there's
You know what I
some,
mean? Like,
That's
like
not-
if you
that's
don't
not a
make
bad
it, your
point.
band name's gonna be bad.
I
So
think there's some good band names out there.
Like
Jethro Tull. That one's
what is
It's a really
what
good
is the
one.
worst band name?
What is
Probably
the
that.
worst band?
I don't know.
What about the lead singers that just like form a band around and they're like, "This is my band. Hey, I'm the Dave Matthews Band." Like it's just the
He's
dude's
cool
name.
though.
yeah.
Dave Matthews.
I'm not gonna diss him, Dave Matthews.
I get what you're saying.
It's just
though.
like they do their first name. They're like, "This is
Yeah.
my band as well."
Yeah.
Or you have Bon Jovi where they do their middle
Yeah, the-
last name.
Well,
Maybe
no,
we should change
that's
our
his whole
band.
last name.
We should go Michael Paul.
Michael Paul.
That's our new band name.
Keep with the middle name. That's amazing.
Better than Houdinis Code.
Yeah, just to be clear, we are not into magic.
No.
Yeah,
We're-
just
we're-
be clear.
Did you like explain? I think I have a later thing with the inspirations and what inspired the name.
Yeah.
But I really want to ask where the name came from.
Okay. So Ryan and Shawn stay away from this question because they just kind of let me run with this. But anyways,
Did you come up with the name then?
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's
There's
a
a singer's disease.
Yeah, there's a story where basically Harry Houdini supposedly he had this secret code that you could reach it, like you could reach him in the afterlife, and he only gave it to his wife, and so no one knew the code. So I thought that was like a cool story. So I was like, Houdini's Code.
I think
Well,
it's
and
a
we're
great
younger
story.
guys too. We wanted to be relatable to today's youth. So
Yeah.
Harry Houdini.
He
I was
turned
gonna say,
150.
The best point
Yeah.
about the name, that's actually in the article. I saw that.
Yeah.
Anyway, the name about the band is that everyone will understand the behind to that. Like everyone
Yeah.
understands the whole code thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool thing that you actually have to explain. So when you get asked on like a
Yeah.
talking like
Like
you
the
actually have
show
to-
right here.
you actually have to explain it. I like that.
Yeah.
I think next thing I want to move on, and this is something I can talk on too, because
Okay.
inspirations for your band.
Yeah.
The first question is going to be clearly, who are some of your guys' inspirations?
Go ahead. If you say Kenny Chesney, I'm walking off the set.
I saw that video today,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
You said Kenny
I was
Chesney.
debating on bringing him back.
You could see the fire in his eyes. He's like, I could say it.
Yeah. No, definitely the Foo Fighters. I think
Yeah.
between the three of us, me and you especially,
Mhm.
Foo Fighters is probably our strongest musical inspiration. That was our first concert together.
That's a
Yeah.
It's a
Foo
good one.
Fighters, Nirvana,
Nirvana's a good. I've
Rolling
noticed
Stones, like classic rock.
some of your guys' openers. I'm like, I can feel the Nirvana-esque kind of coming
Okay.
in there.
Yeah.
Which I like because
Yeah.
I do love Nirvana.
We're like the Greta Van Fleet for Nirvana.
how,
Yeah.
how like they're the new Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a great title to put on your.
I mean, when you
as
play
well.
when you play power chords, and I mean,
that's gonna set some expectations
you're
that
gonna-
we
yeah.
need to meet.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to ask with the Foo Fighters thing. What is each your guys' favorite songs?
It's
Of
tough.
the Foo Fighters?
Yeah, there's so many.
I want to know. My real question here should have been: are you about to lean to the softer, like the punk stuff they do, or are you going to lean to the harder rock stuff? they do?
I like so much of what they do. I think one of my favorite songs by them is called "Come Alive," which is actually a soft, too hard song.
Yeah.
It's on.
So you like
Echoes.
all of Foo Fighters
what-
then?
Yeah,
The Echoes.
Echo. What's the,
Echo, Silence,
I always
Patience, and
forget the name
Grace.
of the album. Yeah,
number one fan right there.
yeah.
What's your favorite song, man?
Walk.
Walk.
Yeah, it's off of Wasting Light.
Wasting Light's my favorite album by
Yep.
them by far.
Actually, this is a
And
weird
Back
one.
and Forth. If you've never seen that documentary, If you watch that, you'll become a Foo Fighters fan. Like, I feel like
I am. Haven't even watched it yet.
You watch it.
It'll get better.
It is such a good. It's like my favorite band documentary.
This is kind of weird because my favorite album I would say would be The Color and the Shape. But
Yeah.
then I'd move on. Like my favorite song, I like to Learn to Fly.
Yeah, there you go.
I like that one. That one's more punk-esque, I would say, though.
Yeah.
So
the only wrong answer I've ever heard is someone said Big Me is their favorite song. I'm like, what? They were like mad they went to a Foo Fighters show and they didn't play Big Me. And I'm like, that's
like,
the song you wanted to hear?
You're like, how dare they? You just
Yeah.
have to agree and just nod your head for that
Yeah.
one. Well, how did you guys learn about your inspirations? I feel like Foo Fighters, you guys did kind of talk about going to the concert, but what about the other ones? Like, where did Nirvana come up?
So I grew up with, like, my dad showed me, like, classic rock and, like, the Stones and stuff. The first band I found on my own was Led Zeppelin. Like, I was like, oh, I kind of like these guys. And then I started to go down the 90s thing. I just kind of gravitated towards 90s rock. I love Nirvana and Soundgarden, like, all of those bands. But the one thing I would say about Nirvana, when I first heard them, I'm like, I was like, these guys are overrated. They got one song, and, like, I remember I went into them like that, and then I listened to, like, all of Nevermind. I'm like, wait, these guys are incredible.
Yeah.
And the drumming, everything about it is
I think I realized
amazing.
they were a good band when I went back to Incesticide.
Yeah.
After listening to that, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
They know music.
They're
like they
so
actually do.
yeah. And I love Kurt's lyrics and Dave, but go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. What was the question again?
Like what?
I'm kidding. You
Oh yeah. Okay.
No, I think we have that in common too, but not the same like artists. My parents kind of started me off in like the '80s rock, that type of thing, and then I really got into Bon Jovi hearing the Talk Box.
That's a good one,
and
actually.
that's what got me like started playing the guitar.
Yeah.
That. But that's what made me like. I remember hearing that with "It's My Life," and I'm like, okay, I wanted to know what that was and how to play it. And then they're like, yeah, it's a guitar effect. So I'm like, okay, I gotta play guitar.
That's all right. I actually like both those answers. Like those can have been more to what I was looking for. Now, a bigger, maybe more difficult question is how do inspirations such as this? I know I was saying you guys sound, like certain times sound Nirvana like entrances to songs, but how do they affect and what do they play on your music? Like,
I would say for like Foo Fighters, like I don't like we don't listen to like a Foo Fighters song and be like, all right, let's record. Like, I feel like it's more of like, we love how their live shows. We love how they carry themselves like they just, like Dave and Taylor's friendship. Like, I feel like that's Shawn and me. Like,
I feel like I can feel that in, like, when I listen to your guys' music, like, you saying that, like, in my head, I'm like, that makes a lot of sense for what I listen to, that you guys, like, are more about the realness of their friendship or like the actual live stuff.
Yes.
Like I feel like that does make a lot of sense to listening to your songs, which is, I mean, plenty of artists have taken that route where they like the live stuff more to be live ready and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I love their recordings. Fun. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. What would you say?
I'd say one thing that you really just have caught a knack for with that.
I just feel like this is gonna be a setup. It's a setup.
I was like, hold on, let me. All right, go ahead. I'm ready.
I'm ready for your Norm Macdonald.
No, I was actually about to compliment you. I was gonna say I think he really caught a knack for the songwriting. That's one thing that I think you can hear our inspirations in it. It's not a complete ripoff, but.
That's what I was trying to say with you guys, is I'm not listening and being like, oh, they're just ripping off this band. Like, it's not the Greta Van Fleet thing where you're just Led Zeppelin trying to be new. You guys clearly have inspirations, and you say them to me, and I'm like, that makes sense. Your music is very reflective, but not copycat of it. So
the one thing I'll say real quick about Nirvana is, like, what I love about them, I was it took me a while to get into music. Like, I didn't grow up with it. Like, I've always loved it, but no one in my family played an instrument. But, like, listening to Nirvana, Kurt made me realize that anyone can pick up a guitar. And it's, like, self-expression. It's not, like, a competition. Like, that's what I love about music, and that's where I've, like, kind of gone to.
Yeah, that's where you get the whole Kurt being the best non-guitarist. Like, when people say stuff like that. Because, like, in reality, he's not, like, his thing isn't guitar, but like
it's songwriting.
It's songwriting.
Just so
but
much more
he plays
important.
the guitar for what he needs, and he does it well.
Yes,
and I do agree.
And
with that.
that's what I love.
I think that's why I like most of the grunge era because it's just like very expressional music,
Yes.
and that's why like I've been listening to a lot of Stone Temple Pilots recently.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's a big one for me. So.
Stone Temple Pilots is awesome.
And
it killed hair metal. Just kidding. Yeah,
that's a win for everybody.
Yeah, you love that.
I mean, I respect some hair metal, but then there's
name a band. Name one hair metal band
I don't like.
Love,
oh, that I love.
that you love.
I'll go one I love, one I hate. One I love, Guns N' Roses, if we count them hair metal.
I'm not. I want you to name another one. I'm not counting Guns N' Roses. That's just
Does Scorpions count?
Yeah, Scorpions.
I'll go Scorpions.
Scorpions rule.
Yeah. But one I hate, Poison.
I agree with that.
I'm not a
but I don't
huge
mind
Poison
Molly
fan. You ruined Poison for me. You
No,
you
Bill
making
Burr.
fun of
Bill Burr,
you and and listening to Bill Burr like I'm like I can't listen to this music anymore. It's so bad.
I would for hair.
I mean, I still love Bon Jovi. That's,
Yeah.
That's
Is that considered?
I think they would. Yeah, they're kind of hair metal
Oh
too.
well, then there you go.
Yeah.
That's a good one. The next thing we're moving on to goes to we're gonna listen to the songs and we're gonna do a little bit of breakdown to them.
Okay.
Which song would you guys like to start with? We can either like go in order where like we follow the screen where it like has all of them up there, or you could just like go which ones you want.
Whatever is easiest for you guys.
All right, let's I mean there's no real easiest, it's just what he plays. Let's just go in order.
Okay.
Let's start off with Freak Show.
All right.
All right, so to come on this podcast, I had to show everyone your guys' music.
Yeah.
Is a great thing. I like that they left it on the background so I can still talk over it.
Yeah.
I had to show people your music so they understood what like this podcast was actually like about.
Yeah.
And like, first thing I would do is like introduce them because you guys were saying that when you go to chord progression and stuff like that, music becomes basic. But I think instrumentally, like personally, I texted you about this one day that your music is like instrumentally really good. Like you don't see a lot of rock bands these days that are like, oh, we're super complex on instruments, but you guys are, and it's kind of nice.
I mean, I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, thanks.
But I feel like what we do is like, honestly, it's like really simple, and then we just like expand on it.
Yeah.
But that can become complex in itself. If you start with a simple bass, but you expanded 94 times on it, I mean, it's going to be a more complex song. I can't remember what song it is off the top of my head, but there was like a solo and one that I heard from one of you, and I was like, that's
probably Gemini.
Compared to
Gemini or Before You Leave.
Compared to modern artists, there's no one doing stuff like that.
Well, Freak Show, the one that just played, we wrote that on 2 acoustic guitars.
Yeah. This was one of the songs. It actually had a different song title.
Wait, how did you write that on an acoustic? That does. This song is very fast and hard and heavy. So it just
progressed. Well, the best story of this, it used to be a different song, and I remember we thought we finished it, and we listened to it in our like on the speakers, and we were like, we were all cocky about it. And I swear, like we listened to it, we're like, we can't show anyone this song
so bad.
ever.
What was the first title? If we don't have to go through all titles.
She Stole My Soul is what we were trying to. We watched this like film documentary about this guy that. Long story.
We were going off the Midnight Rambler story.
Like the Stones wrote Midnight Rambler, so we were trying to do that, and it just didn't work out.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Freak Show, the Carlin. Talk about George Carlin.
Talk about George Carlin. Sorry. I just thought you wanted me to repeat you. No. Freak Show came out from George Carlin, a comedian that we both love and actually discovered together.
Yeah.
Imagine that, us learning something. But no, we got into George Carlin's comedy, and he had a really he wouldn't describe himself as cynical. I'm getting too deep with it. That's not entertaining. No, he had a dark outlook on life, and we kind of wrote that around one quote that he said specifically.
The song around one quote he said?
Yeah, that song's kind of based around what he basically said, when you're born in this world, you're given a ticket to the Freak Show, but when you're born in America, you get a front row seat. And we're like, oh, that's so cool, and it's so like. So that's basically,
that's cool.
And like this song is basically talking about like
something to build a song around.
Yeah, like everything going on right now.
I did want you guys to do that. Like say what your songs are about, and like you said, it's something to build your song around. I do like that. That was actually really cool. We're gonna keep it moving on to. It's honestly, personally, my favorite song of your guys' would be Gemini.
Gemini? Okay.
Yeah.
It's my mom's favorite.
Mom's
Shout out Laura.
Dude, if your mom likes your music, who are you really making it for?
Honestly,
it doesn't matter anymore.
My mom would tell me if she hates my music.
My mom wouldn't.
Really?
No.
Does she like our music?
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
In the least, like, I'm a fan kind of way. And
Yeah.
Not the I mean, this one actually went on my playlist.
Really?
This one actually made the rock
All right,
playlist.
man.
It did. It made
Thanks,
my
man.
overall rock playlist.
This song took a year and a half to record. The longest song on the
You want
entire
to
record.
explain why? I would love you to give me the story why it took you a year and a half to record a song.
Well, it started. Well, we had it.
How much time do we got?
Yeah, we
Oh
had
my.
it. We recorded it probably 3 or 4 different times.
Yeah.
When we first started recording this album, we weren't using a click track,
Okay.
which you're supposed to use a metronome, so
Right.
you know, everything's in time. And we had this
Yeah.
like one producer tell us like, you guys don't even use a click, and
We
like,
didn't
he
know what, we didn't,
basically-
I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, he was
The
just like,
metronome, yeah.
I'm too good for like. There's a lot of producers like that.
No,
but-
I've noticed that with GarageBand recently because I've
Yeah.
been like putting stuff together and it's like you need the metronome.
Yeah,
Because
yep.
it honestly because it does the beats. It's amazing.
But
honestly.
Infection we recorded without it, and I love Infection. So
Yeah.
you can do it without it, but like
Affection would probably be one of the top for you guys that I listen
That's
to.
our
honestly
first, yeah.
because I honestly do not mind Infection. So doing that
Yeah.
without a metronome is actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's good.
So, but anyways, yeah, we had to re-record Gemini like 4 or 5 times, and then we kept adding parts, and it just turned into like it's a whole new
But like
song.
things you got to think about that is did that time matter because like you said a lot of people have told you that like
Yeah.
that song is like they like that one.
Yeah.
So I mean you got to pay off a little bit.
Yeah.
No, any time that we needed for that song, I think any song that we would have done the first would have taken that long.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Besides Infection, because that one was already done.
Right.
But we had all 3 gotten Logic. That's what we used to record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were all learning how to do and work that program. We were all learning how to, like, we were building our chemistry around it too.
Yes.
We were not jamming as much as a band. We were just saying, let's
Learning how to mix.
let's
and,
get this record done with all these songs that we've been working on and new songs that we wrote. And then we just kind of learned the process of everything we did with Gemini.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a good jumping off point
And then
for everything
to
else.
make Gemini make sense.
That's what I was about to ask.
Yeah.
I want you to explain to me what is Gemini.
It's about me.
Are you a Gemini?
I'm a Gemini.
Whoa!
Yeah. So.
Getting crazy
But,
with the song titles lately.
But no, I thought it'd be a cool title. But
Yeah,
basically,
it wasn't about me.
I like the whoever did that art. I do like that.
I made that.
I do
Yeah.
like that. That is
Thanks,
pretty. That's pretty cool.
But I basically the song's about like somebody who's like decide like should I stay where I'm at or basically leave, and I know a lot of people in Ohio could probably relate to that.
Yeah.
So
And that's who you're making the music for. You're a local
Yeah.
Cleveland band.
Yeah.
And Ohio is like top 3 in rock music listened to. Like it's like the
Oh.
biggest, one of the biggest rock states.
Shout
if
out
you didn't
Ohio.
know that.
Yep.
That's why the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Is. Anyway, but no, I do like that. The Gemini thing you made. I'm not just trying to give you a compliment back because you complimented the whole other one. But
Yeah.
next, I do like that Gemini is very relatable to Ohio. But I want to move on to Before You Leave now.
yeah, it's depressing.
Before
This
You
one.
Leave is depressing, is it?
Yeah, if you want the full story, yeah.
I mean, I would. Of course.
I'll tell. Yeah, I'll tell you.
But again, the instruments are just your instruments. I sucks your drummer isn't
I
here. Your
skipped your
drummer,
solo.
your drummer's really.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no, Ryan's awesome.
He is. He's really good, man. All right. What's the story? Who's giving it?
Do you even want to take this?
No,
one?
I'm good.
All right. Okay, so this song I wrote about
Have you wrote
Mike-
all the songs?
what?
Did you write all the songs?
No, I would say Shawn and I wrote basically all the songs.
You
together.
this one you basically had.
This one I
Yeah.
Writing in a room together is still. I get it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
the way our band works is a lot of the time it's like I'll bring Shawn something and he helps me finish it, and then he'll bring me something like
gonna do.
Burn and Infection.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's mutual. But Before You Leave, basically, it was about I was dating a girl and she was diagnosed with cancer. Yeah, I told you it was gonna get a little depressing. But she's okay and everything. But
Yeah.
so the whole song was basically Before you leave, it's like
that's that. Wow.
Yeah.
I would not have taken that song.
It's not
to
a
be
break.
that.
Yeah, so
it isn't a heartbreak song, which is nice that you can put that in your music. And I mean, that's like that's kind of why I liked grunge, is like when you
it's real.
It wasn't about being upset to be upset and crying about it. It was like I'm angry because I'm upset.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice to listen to. So I like that. That's
I think it's important to just be authentic as possible. So the one thing that I'm proud of with this album is it's all real. Like everything you know what I mean? Like I don't feel like there's anything we're trying to do where it's like, let's sound like somebody, or let's try to sound cool here. Like it's very vulnerable. And
it's just your guys'
So if
music.
It's terrible, at least it's real. That's
like the number one thing with music. Like if you're listening to music, you don't care. But if you're a musician and you know music, you would say that you'd rather someone put their heart into an album than just try to rip something off.
Yes.
You'd rather listen to them, because the whole point of someone being good at music is that it's them and it's personable.
Self-expression.
Yeah.
Bob Ross.
Well, and this is the last song for the record that we wrote.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We thought
we had some other stuff to like fix up and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Before You Leave, that's a good.
We thought it'd be cool
the end
and the album. Yeah.
Well, no, not it was the I think it was the last song we wrote of the process too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he called me and he's like, "Hey, I got an idea for a song," and there's in the back and forth documentary that he was telling you about, the Foo Fighters thing. There's on that album Wasting Light, Taylor Hawkins and Dave Grohl are talking about a song that Dave came to the band, and Taylor's joking about it. He's like, "Oh, this song's These Days," but Taylor's like, "Really?" Because this is like the best song you've wrote ever. But I felt like we had that same thing with Before You Leave, because he called me. He's like, "Hey, I got a song. Send it over to me," and I'm like, "Well, this one's going on the record." So
gotcha. Yeah, that's amazing.
And then the solo that Shawn put on it, I remember the first draft. He sent over his solo is way too loud. And I'm like, man, that's not gonna work.
They all are.
Yeah, and then when we balanced it, I'm like, that's literally the best solo. That might be the best solo on the album.
I honestly, if you haven't heard that solo, like anyone who is watching, go listen to that one.
Shawn
at least that is a
incredible guitarist.
You wrote it,
not the solo.
Not the solo. Yeah.
Take credit.
Let's go on to Escape. I don't remember the song off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's only the title of the record, so that's okay.
Listen. All right, so I'm going to give you guys my take as the outside, and then you guys can give the inside.
Okay.
Like that. It sounded like a very live performance kind of thing. Like this live will probably be so good, because it's like live ready.
Yeah.
Is what it sounds like.
I like that.
I like that end part as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it is very live ready in my opinion, and it sounds really good. And I wouldn't critique anything, to be honest. It's a good song overall.
Okay.
I want to know the inside of the song though. Let's see what's going on.
This one was Shawn.
You this time. Right.
Well, so we had this riff, I think, in high school, one of our high school bands.
Like the guitar riff you had?
Yeah, we had the guitar riff.
Okay, the main guitar riff, which it's just the same thing backwards for both parts. So like the verse and the chorus are the same thing. Just
Can we listen to the song real quick?
Yeah.
Put the song back on, Joe, if you can. I do want to, because now I want to listen for that. Because now I want to listen to him play it one way and play it back the other way, which, to be honest, it's again more complex than what other people have done. So you say for the chorus and then back up.
Yeah.
The chorus
there's a couple little minor twists, but for the most part, it's
right,
the
like
same
the
thing
bridging
backwards.
between the
I feel like
down
that's how
and
a lot
back
of
up.
riffs go.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I understand.
Like Smoke on the Water.
Yeah.
I found this. I don't know if I told you this, but supposedly it's Beethoven backwards. And
I don't know.
The guy who wrote it from Deep Purple said it's Beethoven backwards.
No, I don't think Beethoven should have written that forward.
What's the inside on Escape other than the guitar
so we had the riff in high school, and then we just always jammed it, and then
it's a good riff. Like, this is why I think it's live ready, is because it's just the riff just so yeah.
I remember playing it for you. I think we were in my bedroom in my parents' old house, and
say it like that.
But well, no, we had everything set up there, and then you hit the original snare hit.
Yeah,
you were doing drums.
I was
at
on
that time.
drums. At
Yeah,
that time,
and
yeah.
I
You started off as a drummer. Sorry,
Yep.
I don't mean to cut you off, but you did start off as a drummer.
I was a drummer, and
We-
then I'm like, I kind of want to. I like wrote a lot of songs, so I just kind of.
I do want to get more into that, but go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I played the riff, and then he just did that original snare pop, and then from there it just kind of connected.
Yeah.
But you wrote most of the lyrics on this one.
Yeah, that I don't. This is one of those songs where just like whatever came out of me is like kind of what we use, but basically, the song's basically about letting go of what people think and just do what you want to do, and like don't
escape. Don't
settle. There's so many people, especially at my age, 29, not to sound like an old guy, but like there's so many people that I like. That are this age who kind of just gave up on like dreams and stuff, and I feel like we're just like, okay, like we're doing this.
Yeah, that's one of the most
you know what I mean?
inspiring things is seeing someone who like is not because the prime age for doing stuff like this, people would always say, oh, from like teenage years to 25.
Yeah,
mentally,
like,
I think we're still there.
Seeing one,
yeah, we really are.
That helps, but
Yeah.
seeing someone like try to drop out of that mentality and like keep doing it, and then actually doing it and becoming successful, or like even just doing well with it, I think it's actually a pretty cool thing, and I think
Thanks,
it breaks
man.
stigmas for some people, like who do it themselves. So,
Yeah.
which is what music.
That's
is about.
honestly, if
So-
we inspired anyone to like do something like that, would be the coolest thing.
I think
hope so.
playing a live show would be cooler.
Okay,
But-
yeah, and making a lot of money.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think
Yeah,
that
I'm
compares,
kidding. I'm
to be
kidding.
honest.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
kidding.
inspiring someone and making millions of dollars, not even close to each other. I'd rather inspire
I
someone.
would so much rather inspire somebody.
I really want to inspire someone.
Yeah.
All right. Lastly, we're moving on to Codeine. And whoever made that album cover, what a buffoon, man. That's
I like
crazy.
it. I like
I'm
it.
glad you
Nah,
did,
it's
man.
nice.
I actually really do like
Yeah.
it.
Well, it's trippy and kind of
I feel like it
fits
fit the
vibe.
name of the
Yeah.
song. That was the goal.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
what I was going for. I appreciate it, though.
This is
Is
my
this the
brother's.
Is this the opener?
No, this is
The fourth song.
Fourth song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Gemini's the
No,
first song on the record.
is Codeine? Is this the opener to Codeine that we're listening to? I mean,
Oh no, this is
halfway
this is the breakdown.
This is the breakdown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the end.
Okay. So here comes my first critique of you guys' music.
Okay.
Probably the last one as well.
All right.
With the whole breakdown.
Yeah.
Is this whole song? I like the song, to be honest. It's just
Yeah.
I felt like I was waiting for a vocal part to lead into the breakdown.
That's interesting.
I was expecting someone to like. What are the lyrics about? So far away, something like that.
Cody and Take Me Away. Yeah, so
I was just
funny that
expecting
you
someone
said
to
that.
just yell like
We
for the breakdown.
originally
on
had
there.
that.
Yeah.
And
Did
we,
you?
And this is one of the last things we did on the album. We said we love this guitar like work so much. We don't want to like take away from it.
the whole.
So
that,
we got rid of it.
My idea is nothing's wrong with like not having the screaming.
Yeah.
I just wanted a scream leading into the breakdown.
Ah,
like
gotcha.
one last scream.
Yeah.
To like
that
lead
would've
into the
been
breakdown.
For
Oh,
live,
yeah. And
for
I was-
live, I feel like there's a lot
feel
of
like-
potential
Yes.
for that. Yep.
Yes. I like clearly don't
Yep.
go back and alter song. I think the song is actually good.
Thanks.
It's just that whole time because the singing slow, the song was slower up until the breakdown.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for the breakdown. I'm excited for the breakdown, and then the breakdown starts, and I was
Yep.
like, where was the
Where's
transition?
yeah.
I thought
I feel you.
someone was gonna like scream a note at me or
Yeah.
something, and that was the
We-
only
Yeah, we were.
thing.
Well, let's go back, re-record, re-release it, and
Honestly, I was thinking I wasn't gonna like tell you guys to do it. Pull the
Yeah.
album down,
Yeah.
fix the
okay.
song, then put it back up. I mean,
It wouldn't be the first time. No.
no,
what? Wouldn't be
I'm
the
not
first
kidding.
time?
No, we have
okay, I was
I'm
about
just
to say.
re-edits.
I think
Yeah.
that segment of just doing songs like was one of the coolest segments I've done on a TCTC thing.
All right.
It's like listening
First
to someone's
episode.
songs,
Let's go.
listening to someone's songs and then
Yeah.
getting to break them down with the band and then
Well,
pretty much giving my own like feedback to
Yeah.
it. I thought it was a
That's
really
awesome.
cool thing actually.
So actually for that song, that was like the first song I ever wrote, kind of, and like the lyric, like I just like I don't know, that was like one of the like just learning guitar. That was one of the first songs, and then I fought for this one to be on the album. So
Did you?
I mean, we liked it. Maybe not Ryan. I
feel
don't
like this
think
did-
Ryan get Ryan on board for this one. It took
I'm
a
actually
little bit.
surprised this was one you
But
had to
then
fight
he-
for the album.
No, at first it was.
With me?
Okay.
Not you. I would say it was more of like when we were recording it. This one took a while to record.
Oh yeah, we restarted this song
So many
like,
times.
yeah.
I think,
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one
came out good. Again, I think the ones that you told me you've restarted have been the better songs.
Okay.
So I think the time that you're putting into this stuff is just like really working out for you guys.
All right,
so I would just continue.
Let's keep restarting.
I want you need to make songs and then just like be like, okay, so our model is let's completely restart.
I mean, that's kind of the creative process. I feel like it's
any
like
creative process. I mean, we're all in media.
Think you have it and then you just
in media.
destroy it and then you bring it back to life.
That's all media.
Then destroy it again.
I mean, you do videography as well.
Yeah.
As do I. Is how many times have you gone out and filmed something or done a filming process and just went, nope.
Yeah.
Gotta restart.
All the time.
Yeah, because that's just
all the time.
That's just part of the creative process, like you said. But the last segment we're gonna move on to is gonna be the scope of the band, and clearly this is the right thing to end on. The first question I'm gonna ask of it though is gonna be, where do you want to take this? Is this just a fun side project, or is this something bigger?
Bigger.
Good.
Not to speak for Riot. I mean, Shawn.
He's speaking for you.
Yeah.
You're done.
No, I don't. I think anything's possible. Like, you know, I'm one of those people who's very, very persistent in what I do, and like, I don't know. I don't really cap like where I could go with things. And then as far as our band, with our chemistry, like the songs, we find like our album came out. Like we're already we got on a magazine. We're getting, streams. We're on a podcast.
That's what I'm saying.
We haven't even played a show yet.
Let's stop to think. They haven't played a show yet, and let's stop to take a look at these pictures. They're on a podcast. First things first. Welcome, if you haven't been here.
Check the video out.
They have this many streams and listeners already. I mean, again, haven't played a live show. That's how you network
86
yourself.
countries.
And 86 countries.
I don't know.
Was the craziest.
Is that real?
That was the craziest thing I saw. Like, in my head, I was like, there's no way. 86 countries.
That's
is
probably
insane.
like it got on a playlist, and
No, that's what you're right. It probably got on a playlist in somewhere, but that doesn't change anything. That those countries still had to listen to that song at some point.
Yeah,
so that's
I have heard from people from other countries, which is super cool. I've heard from
Germany. Didn't you hear from them?
Yeah, there's a German band we really like who likes us. There's one from Portugal. And
let's get away from Germany. I don't know if you're a history buff.
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing I would mention.
Let's talk about Argentina.
On this, from Germany to Portugal, I think was a fine transition.
Yeah.
Personal. The next thing I want to talk about, which is probably one of the coolest things for you guys, was you release a debut album and you get played on the radio.
Oh yeah.
I mean, first of all,
our favorite radio channel too.
That is so cool. Like getting played on the radio. No live shows yet.
No.
One album just came out. They went put it on the radio. That's a great start. Like that's like things that most people don't see after doing music for years and years.
Yeah, so, I mean, a lot of it is. I feel like the hardest part is just trying to get people to listen to your music.
Yeah.
There's just so much content out there, like videos, and it's like for someone to want to take 5 seconds to listen to, like.
Even 5 seconds is a lot to ask
for.
Like you just said, with modern media, I mean, with being in media as we are, it's just 5 seconds is almost too much to ask for.
Yes.
If in those 5 seconds you don't have at least 3 things playing in front of me, I don't want any of them.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the craziest thing to me. It's like 5 seconds is a lot to ask from someone.
Yeah.
And I've even noticed, like, hey, dude, watch this on my phone. And, like, that's too much to ask. Like, how long is the video? 12 seconds? Nah.
Someone at work was showing you a WWE recap video.
Yeah, I fell asleep.
How long was that?
It's like 20 minutes.
Isn't that the worst when someone pulls up like a YouTube and they're like, "Here, watch a 20-minute video on my phone."
You know my favorite part is when you go, and they keep looking at you for like approval. It's like now not only do I have to watch the video, I have to stay engaged, or else you're gonna get upset.
Yeah, you have to like make like weird faces. Like, oh,
anyway, hold on. I'm getting past the real thing. Is what do you guys think of your article? Like you had an article written on a news station. That's pretty big.
So it's pretty cool. Like I can't believe that we got on the scene. I thought that was super cool.
The scene.
That's what. Yeah. But it's just unreal to kind of like see that, and a lot of people reached out about it, and
what kind of people reached out about it? That's what I want to know.
A lot of Facebook friends.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people from like high school.
I think like getting your own article. Yeah.
Remember me? Great. I'm Bill. We ran into each other at PetSmart 10 years ago. I saw the article. It was fantastic.
It's nothing like getting your own article reshared to you 1,000 times by a bunch of people.
I mean,
it
wasn't like super crazy, but I mean, for people to even care about us, like you said, we haven't played our first show yet. We do have a gig, though, in June. I don't know if that was going to be a question, but...
No, go ahead. You're good.
Yeah.
June, what are you doing? Where's that?
So we'll be playing... should I spice it up or just say it for like what it really is?
I don't know if there's any spicing this up.
We're playing on a porch.
Yo!
No, so there's going to be the West End Festival. There's like 33,000 people who go to it.
Yeah.
My brother's house is kind of in the middle of it, and he's like, hey, what if you, like, for your first show,
just start playing?
Play on my porch. There's going to be a lot of people. And
Let me tell you something.
I think that's a cool idea.
Rock is a rebellious thing. And
Let's
the
go.
whole point of rock was to be...
Yeah.
Playing on people's porches, exactly.
You know what?
I knew where you were
I'm at a
going
loss
with
of words.
Yeah.
He got me. Yeah, playing on people's porches was to do something that even if you're not supposed to technically do, it was doing it, sticking it to the man, if you will.
That's right.
So the whole playing on your brother's porch, I mean, I gotta say that's real hard of you guys.
Yeah.
That's real hard of you guys.
First gig. But no, we're excited to play.
Yeah.
And we've been really practicing as much as possible. Sorry.
You all right?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. But yeah, we're excited for our first show. But back to like what you said about like where we wish we want the band to go.
Yeah, that was
playing
the original question.
Wembley Stadium, but on a porch. No,
they want to pick up the porch and they want them to put it in Wembley.
Yeah.
So playing a sold out festival in Wembley. That's your okay.
Or a fish fry.
That's fine too.
Yeah.
They're kind of two opposite ends of the scale.
Yeah.
Well, we actually, it's kind of interesting you brought this up because, like you said, we're in the magazine, we're in a podcast, the record's done. I actually was turning in my 2 weeks notice to him, like after this tonight.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean,
I'll accept
I think honestly,
on his behalf.
I think we have that same thing of Wembley Stadium.
Sick.
Like a personal goal is I really want to play Red Rocks in Colorado.
Yeah, that's more manageable.
I'm going off script right now. I want to know on the next album, would you do, like, if you have the pool enough, would you find features? Would you find
featured artists?
To put on our songs?
Yeah.
I don't think you could do that until you're established. Like, if, you know what I mean?
That's tough. That's tough to say. You don't understand how much pool you could have from just putting out an album or getting an article like that. Like, it happens a lot.
I guess it depends on who it was.
Yeah, it depends on who it is.
What would be your number one? Yeah, right.
I'm like,
would that be your number one? Like,
for me, yeah.
If Dave Grohl reaches out, you guys are like, give him the album. That's his album
actually, I guess we would. Like, if like I don't know about like writing the song, but more of like we have the song written, but like come add your own touch to it.
That's what I was kind of asking. Is it can be your song, but if you're like, oh, this guy's voice would just work, then you put him on there.
100%.
That's what I was wondering. Okay, I'm back on. That was my little off-script moment. I wanted to know.
That's awesome.
If you guys had, this was my favorite question. If you guys had one song to show every person, like just let's say in the world once, you have one song to give them. What song are you giving them?
You want to go first?
No, you go first.
Before You Leave is it's my favorite on the record.
I would say Gemini.
Yeah.
I think Gemini is just I feel like it's the best one. Like, that's my mom's favorite. And to me, like,
having your
mom's go with what your mother says.
Your mom's favorite that's the hit on the.
That's what he was going with.
Clearly,
with rebellious rock and roll.
I do agree with the whole Gemini. It's the one. It's a good song.
Yeah, but I've told Shawn this. Like, we've heard people. Everyone has like a different favorite song.
It's good
on the album.
Yeah.
Like Ryan's is It Doesn't Matter, and like, really?
Yeah. Well, no, I thought his was Escape and Freak Show.
Okay, but It Doesn't Matter is, I think, his new favorite. Like, but I've heard Burn. My brother's is Codeine.
Yep. Can't Walk Away. My uncle loves that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Uncle Rex.
Yep.
We couldn't have done this without Uncle Rex.
Yep.
All right. I mean, the last thing is your guys' final recognitions to the podcast. I mean, this is your guys' show, not mine. Yeah, I'm just here hosting for you guys. Here's, first of all, here's a QR code for anyone who hasn't heard Houdinis Code. This QR code will take you straight to their Spotify. Go listen to the new album. It's pretty good. And I want to hear what you guys have to say about your band before we head out.
Yeah, before we leave.
Yeah, quote our own stuff. That's great.
Yeah.
Before you leave.
Yeah.
It's a song, by the way. Anyway.
I would just we're already starting to. I feel like as a band, after this whole album was us learning how to be a band, learning how to record an album, learning how to play live. Like it's been a whole learning process. Like we've recorded it in basements, 1-bedroom apartments, at Airbnb that had no running water. He hates me for that because I booked it and told you, and you paid me half for it.
Yep.
Yeah. But like we recorded 3 songs in New York, and we've done this completely DIY, and it's all like just authentic to who we are, like what we love to do. And I don't know, I'm just super proud of the album. We're already recording new music. We might have a demo already this coming year.
Demo for
another album
too.
Like we've become so like locked in that we're like, let's record again, because we feel better now than we ever felt.
I want a inside look if I can get that to the
All right.
album. If you have something that you can send me, and
we don't have anything recorded.
No, I get
kind
it.
of.
But you have songs.
It's in the
we
works.
talked about that. You have plenty of songs written.
Yeah.
You have ideas.
We got 5.
Once that comes
already.
up, I'd love to look inside. That would be great.
Yeah,
have us back.
Yeah, we'll come back for album 2. Yeah,
album 2. We could. That's something that can happen. If your album comes out in a week, that we'll be ready.
I don't know about that.
Producing an album in a week would be crazy.
That'd be too much. But yeah, no, this whole thing's been awesome. I've done it with my best friends.
Yep.
To me, it's like, this is the dream. This is what I want to do with my life, is like play music and perform and just create things, And so, what else would you want to do?
I want to know what your final remarks are.
Or you could work. Or we're in school. Yeah, you should work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go for the rock.
Work. Walmart's cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, what would be your final remarks towards the band, or telling someone, if you're telling a stranger about your band and just trying to like get your message across, what would you say to them?
I think he nailed it perfectly. I let him handle most of the ideas, honestly, because thank God like Gemini, it's a good song, it's fun, and I'm glad that he went with his astrological sign, because it's a good one, because I have Cancer.
That is true. You are a Cancer.
Yeah. So his is a much better selling point for positivity.
It is, yeah.
But no, I mean, honestly, yeah, like he said, I get to make music with my best friend, and it's the most fun I have doing anything.
And you just bought a house, so
yeah,
we're gonna
have
a jam spot.
Yep.
Of like a real jam spot.
Brother's garage. That's it.
We'll play his porch too. But
all porches.
Yeah. And then
your first tour has to be called the Porch Tour.
No, we actually have the name of our first tour.
I want to know.
The Farewell Tour. We want to do.
That's a great
We want
start.
our first tour to be like a farewell, like all these hair metal bands.
Yeah.
They're like our last tour. We already have an idea of how we can.
Music law says you can do 4, I think, before you get in violation.
Real thing?
Really?
No, it's
according
like,
to Motley Crue.
Motley Crue
Kiss is on their
Motley
4th
Crue and Kiss
this year, right? Yeah,
probably.
That was my point anyway. Music law.
And then the last thing I'll say, just to be that guy, we have vinyls, we have CDs, we got prints, and we got stickers.
I collect vinyls, man. I
Yeah.
need you to send me an ASAP.
Definitely.
Cool.
But yeah, you can support us just by, if you want to purchase that. T-shirts, but check our website out, check our social media. But if you don't want to buy anything, don't just listen to the music.
We're also not into magic.
Yeah, but just to be clear,
we wanted to get that.
We are not into magic.
Today,
I was
guys.
serious about that, so I appreciate the laughter.
That's the message of today, guys. Houdinis Code is not into magic.
We are not into magic.
Well, anyway, that was a great first.
Thanks for having us, man.
Installment. No problem at all, guys. It was a great first installment of TCTC Podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm sure we have more to come and more guests, and maybe even them back at some point. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in the next TCTC podcast.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Metal.